Welcome to the One Deal Millionaire podcast, where we don't just bounce properties, we flip mindsets. I'm JD Allen, Marine Corps veteran, engineering leader, and your multifamily investment mentor. If you're stuck chasing small gains, we're here to change the game. Each week, we dive into strategies to bounce your way to your first million. No fluff, no hype, just real talk, real deals, and real momentum. Make contact. This is where most people are scared because they're afraid of being told no. But it's where the deals are made. So I wrote letters, picked up the phone, knocked on doors, and didn't just say, "Do you want to sell?" And I didn't just say, "Do you want to sell?" I built relationships and I asked questions and I wanted to understand their pain points. Where do you think the best multifamily deals are found? If you said LoopNet or Crexy, I've got some tough news. By the time a deal shows up online, it's already been picked over, overpriced, and fought for by many other buyers. The truth is, the best deals, the ones that are life-changing, almost never hit the market. They're off-market, quiet, hidden. And if you don't know how to find them, you'll spend your career fighting for scraps. In this episode, I'm going to share my story of how I learned to find off-market deals. We'll walk through it step by step using my storytelling framework, life before I knew how to find them, the crisis that forced me to change, to pursuit, the exact steps I used to uncover them, the conflicts and setbacks I faced, and the climax, the breakthrough moment when everything actually clicked, and the aftermath, how off-market deals have transformed my investing journey. And if you want to go deeper into this process, I've laid it all out on thebouncemethod.com, my system for buying, operating, upgrading, and exiting small multifamily properties. Now stick with me till the end, because I'll also give you the exact process you can start using today to create opportunities no one else even knows existed. Now, when I first started investing, I did what everybody else does. I scrolled the listings online, I met with brokers, I analyzed properties that were already listed, and I thought I was in the game. But here's the reality. I wasn't even on the field. Those deals were overpriced. They were competitive. And by the time I ran the numbers, other buyers had already made offers. It felt like wrestling against an opponent who already knew all my moves, and I didn't stand a chance. Now, I was working hard, but I was always one step behind. And maybe you felt that too. You're putting in the time, you're touring the properties, you're submitting the offers, but every time it's the same story. You're outbid, you're overlooked, and you're priced out. That was my reality before I learned the power of off-market deals. The breaking point came on one deal. I had been chasing this small multifamily property. I had toured it, I underwrote it, and I got all excited about it. This was going to be the one, so I made an offer. And the broker practically laughed at me. He was telling me there were already multiple offers, up to maybe 10, all over asking. And that was like a gut punch. I realized in that moment, if I kept chasing these deals that everyone else had access to, I was always going to be in last place or always overpaying. And that's the moment I knew I had to change. I couldn't just wait around for a broker to hand me the opportunities. I had to go create one on my own. And that was my crisis moment. Painful, yes, but necessary. Because it pushed me to start looking where no one else was looking. So how do you actually find these off-market deals? Now, I have a process, and here's exactly how it works. Step one, you got to define that buy box. Now, we've talked about this in another episode. You can't chase everything. Instead, get crystal clear on what your buy box is. For example, 10 to 30 units in the secondary market, mom and pop owners, clear value add potential. That buy box became my compass. Number two, you got to build that list. Pull county tax records, drive the neighborhood, search databases like CoStar, and build spreadsheets with 5 to 50 unit properties in your target area. Step number three, research the owners. Most of these properties are still owned by individuals, not these giant corporations. So I dug in. I looked up the LLCs, found their mailing addresses, even used skip tracing to find some phone numbers. Number four, made contact. This is where most people are scared because they're afraid of being told no. But it's where the deals are made. So I wrote letters, picked up the phone, knocked on doors, and didn't just say, "Do you want to sell?" And I didn't just say, "Do you want to sell?" I built relationships and I asked questions and I wanted to understand their pain points. Step 5, the follow-up. The first no doesn't mean never. It usually just means not yet. Sometimes it took 6 months, sometimes it may take a year, but staying consistent, I became the first call when they were ready. Now, step 6, negotiate creatively. The beauty of off-market deals is that you're not competing with 10 other buyers. That gives you room to be creative. Seller financing, carrybacks, master leases. That's the pursuit. And if you want to go deeper into how I structure these deals, you can definitely learn more at thebouncemethod.com. I don't want to paint this like it was easy. I sent hundreds of letters and never got a response. I made phone calls and people would hang up on me or tell me no or yell at me. I knocked on doors and was told to go away. I had those owners who seemed interested and then they ghosted me. Brokers swoop in after I'd done the legwork and I had deals fall apart at the last minute, and it can be discouraging. There were nights where I thought maybe this just isn't worth it. Maybe off market is just a pipe dream. But here's what I learned. Finding off market deals is not about luck. It's grit. It's showing up consistently. It's about being willing to hear no 100 times so you can finally hear that yes. And then came the breakthrough moment. A landlord I'd been following up with for months, and he was tired, self-managing, losing tenants. And every time I called, he said he wasn't ready. But I stayed consistent. And then one day my phone rang, and it was him, and he said, "Hey, let's talk." That conversation turned into one of my best deals. No bidding war, no overpriced listings, just me and the seller sitting at a table working out terms that work for both of us. And because it was off market, I got flexible terms, seller financing, low down payment, and better cash flow. Now that deal didn't just make me money. It gave me proof that this system does work. The deal changed everything for me. It gave me more than cash flow and appreciation. It gave me confidence to do this over and over again. It proved I didn't have to wait for opportunities. I could create them. And from then on, I stopped chasing what everyone else was chasing. I stopped fighting for the scraps and I started building my own business on hidden opportunities. Today, off-market deals are the backbone of my portfolio. And if you want to see exactly how I break it down step by step, go to the Bounce Method. Because here's the truth. If you want to scale multifamily, you can't just rely on what's listed. The better deals, those life-changing deals, will almost always be the ones that you find off-market. So here's my challenge to you. Start today, define your buy box, build your list, research those owners, reach out and follow up until you get a yes. It's not going to be glamorous and it's not going to be easy, but it will work. And when you land that first off-market deal, you'll look back and wonder why you've ever wasted time chasing what everyone else could see. And when you land that first off-market deal, you'll look back and you'll wonder why you ever wasted time chasing what everyone else could see. This is just one step in the Bounce Method. Buy, operate, upgrade, normalize, cash flow, and exit. And for more details, go to thebouncemethod.com, and I'll see you in the next episode. Semper Fi. That's it for today's episode of the One Deal Millionaire podcast. If you got value from this, share it with a friend who's ready to stop playing small. And remember, wealth isn't built by watching, it's built by moving. So take what you learned, apply it, and keep the velocity of money working in your favor. Subscribe, leave a review, and stay in the loop at thebouncemethod.com. And until next time, keep bouncing forward.